Hey, what's going on everyone? This is iReviews back with another video, and today we're doing a preview of the new iOS 26.4 Beta 2, which is expected to be released very soon. Now, we already had, of course, iOS 26.4 Beta 1 released this last week. It is an amazing update packed with a lot of new features and changes, and we have a lot more to talk about that update as well. But first of all, let's talk about iOS 26.4 Beta 2 and when can we expect it to be released and what to expect from that update. Now, before we get started with the new features that we can expect to get from iOS 26.4 Beta 2, let's first talk about the release date of this update. Now, I would expect actually Apple to not release an update this upcoming week. Usually that's what Apple has done with the last few betas of iOS 26, especially like once beta 1 is released, they will skip a week and then release the second beta. And then just after the second beta, we will move on to a weekly schedule. So right now, as you probably know, we had beta 1 released last week, and I would expect beta 2 to actually be released on the 2nd of March. That will be the next week, not this upcoming week. So March the 2nd, in my opinion, will be the date that we will get the second iOS 26.4 beta. What to expect from this update? Well, there are a few new features and changes that we expect to get with Beta 2. Now, Beta 1 was actually amazing. We had a ton of new features and changes. But first of all, we didn't get the new emojis that usually release with the 0.4 updates every year. Most likely, those will be part of the second beta, maybe even the third, but most likely the second beta will actually contain those new emojis that are expected to be released with iOS 26.4. Again, this happens every year with the spring releases, every time Apple will release the new emojis with a 0.4 update. Now, we were promised to get the new Siri with iOS 26.4. And it's no surprise at this point, we have been promised the new Siri on iOS actually since iOS 18, and it never happened. Now we're talking here about possibly getting it later, maybe a few features with 26.4 and then the other features with 26.5, and then the complete revamp of Siri with the chatbot and all that on iOS 27. I think nobody knows what's going to happen now. Like, Apple is just pushing stuff around here when it comes to the new Siri, but hopefully we will see some of these new features coming out really soon with the betas of iOS 26.4. There is a chance that Apple will start pushing these features of the new Siri one by one and not just like a whole. Maybe the new ability to actually can just make actions within apps and stuff like that, the personal knowledge and all that. These are parts of the new Siri that is coming. Now, the Siri chatbot is coming to iOS 27. We don't expect that with iOS 26, but we have a few other features expected to come with iOS 26.4. They didn't make it with the first beta. Now, we'll have to wait and see if the second beta will be the one bringing these features to our devices. Now, of course, there will be other features and improvements. Like Beta 1 is packed with new features. Like there are like 50 new features and changes. And of course, most likely the second beta will improve some of these new features, but also add other features as well. Now, one thing I'd like to see improve with the second beta is the battery life, because iOS 26.3 had great battery life, but iOS 26.4 Beta 1 currently is not that good. And you can see right here the difference between iOS 26.3 and 26.4 Beta 1. Now, I know it's just a Beta 1, but actually iOS 26.3 has been quite good since Beta 1. In comparison to iOS 26.4, it's actually a huge difference. So we should also see a huge improvement in battery life as well with the second beta. And now let's talk about some more new features that we have been able to discover on the first beta of iOS 26.4. And one of them will be right here under the general settings. So you go to the general settings, you go to the iOS version, and you will see right here where it says iOS 26.4 previously it would show you the build numbers. Well, now it doesn't show that number at all. The way for you to actually see the build number is by tapping on the iOS version number there. You tap to see, basically to hide and unhide the build number from here. iOS 26.4 has brought a lot of new features and changes to the music app, and right here you will see the music app will actually show you a new splash screen when you open it, talking about new features that we will see with iOS 26.4, like concerts near you, which is really cool, and also a new look for albums and playlists. Now, what's really cool with iOS 26.4 Beta 1 is that when you want to add a song to a playlist, if you go there, you can tap this little button, and this will allow you to choose multiple playlists where you can add that song. So any song you want, you can now add it to multiple playlists. When you go to Safari and you have a bunch of tabs open here, you can actually now see a search bar at the top right there. So they have a few tabs. Of course, if I just want to search for any tab, I can just tap right there and it brings me to my keyboard where I can quickly go ahead and just search between tabs. Moving on to the Freeform app, as you probably know, it has now a new icon. We have talked about that on a previous video, but now it also has a new button right here, which will take you to the Content Hub. This option here will replace shapes. So on iOS 26.3, you will have shapes, and right here will have the Content Hub. And of course, this interface right in here has also been updated now, of course, to fit the new liquid glass design. Updated for the new liquid glass design are also new UI elements of the contacts on the Contacts and Phone app. So right here, when you go to one of your contacts page, you will see here the buttons for iMessage, phone, FaceTime, and email. Now they have been updated with the liquid glass design. So that's basically it for this video, guys. iOS 26.4 seems like will be an amazing update. Now again, with the first beta, we got a lot of new features and changes. We have about 50 new features and changes that will make iOS 26 way better. Now of course, iOS 26.4 beta 2 should be even better. Hopefully it will be released this week, even though, as I talked about at the beginning of the video, most chances are that it won't, and actually Apple will go on a 2-week schedule before they move on and release the second beta, and then continue with a 1-week schedule for beta 3 and so on until the final release. So that is it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and you found it helpful. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button. It really helps the video and the channel a lot. And of course, if you want to be updated with more videos and news regarding iOS 26.4 and everything that has to do with iOS and iPhones, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next one.